Welcome to this broadcast of girls OHSSAA District Semifinal Basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're at Sidney High School here, the Hive, where the Botkins Trojans will take on the Varsity Raiders. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meat, Crown Equipment, and NKTelco are fine sponsors here for this tournament game between the Botkins Trojans and the Varsity Raiders. Along with Jeff Henson, I'm Dave Kanapke. Varsity Raiders on the season are 20-4. The number 2 seed. Botkins are 14-10, the number 4 seed. Jeff, obviously, Varsity is the favorite of this team against. They are a very tall, experienced team against a young, very short Botkins team that can also hit the threes.
Yeah, kind of two different styles here, but Varsity comes in. They've won 8 in a row. They had a huge win to end their Shelby County League regular season, defeating Fort Loramie, giving them their only league loss of the season. I did see Varsity lose to Jackson Center in a nail-biter game this year, a tough battle there for one of their league losses, but when they start gelling, they're very athletic. They've got a taller guard. They've got some post players. They got girls that can shoot from the wing, so yes, well-balanced. You flip it over to the Trojans, limited vertically. They are all listed around 5 foot to 5'8" maybe, but they like to get up and down the court. They like to run, and they like to shoot the basketball. Give them credit. They let it fly, but I've also seen them drive into the lane. Even though they're smaller, they go at the basket and basically run into the defense, try to get shots off, create fouls, and get to the foul line.
Botkins advanced with a big win over the higher-seeded team, and number 3, Massanutten Valley, had a whole bunch of threes in that game, 160-41.
Yeah, that was a come-from-behind halftime deficit, and they started off Millennium Hour 4-4 in the third quarter. Also in there, I believe it was Paul hit those shots. 3-pointers ended up with 5 of them. They just went lights out in the second half and flipped that game over. And for a while, it was going to be Massanutten Valley. It turned out to be the Trojans in the big win.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Our starting lineup is brought to you by Emerson Climate Technologies. First, the visiting team will be Botkins in their black and gold. Camden Paul, 5'9" junior, averages 9 points apiece. Number 3, Lydia Dietz, 5 foot senior, 5.3 a game. Melanie Maurer, number 5, a 5'8" junior, 9 points a game. Number 10, Janelle Plattfoot, 5'7" junior, 7 points a game. And number 11, Kennedy Dosick, 5'7" senior, 4 points a game. Head coach in his first year, Tyler Carson, in charge of the Trojans. Now for the number 2 seeded Varsity Raiders, have won 8 in a row. They're 20-4. Their second year coach, Paul Bremingen. Number 3, CC Borchers, 5'9" senior, the leading scorer at 13 points a game. Number 4, Ronnie Poling, a 6-foot junior, 7 points a contest. Number 13, Kate Sherman, 6'1" senior, first team Shelby County League, 9 points a game. Number 14, Reese Gubo, a 5'6" senior. Round out the lineup, number 20, Jael Shappy, 5'5" junior. Rounds out the lineup for Coach Paul Bremagen. So, Jeff, let's look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. We'll start with the Botkins Trojans.
Well, they need to rebound the basketball. They know their size is going to limit them, so they have to get a body in front of the Raiders, keep them away from the basket. Also, they need to contain their bigs, Sherman and Poling. They know Russia wants to utilize their size. They're going to have to defend that well and handle the ball pressure that the Raiders put on against them. And for the Russia Raiders, likewise, they want to win the boards. They feel their size and strength can help them in that area. They also know they need to defend a three-point shooting ability of the Trojans. Don't let them get on fire like they did against the Miss Cinewall Valley. And Coach Bremagen says use our size both inside and on the exterior with their size about every position favored in Rushia's favor.
Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, Newport, Ohio. Tip controlled by the Russia Raiders. Underneath is Sherman, double team, able to get it away. Drive to the basket by Borchers, tipped away.
Kennedy Dosek, nice hands by her, not only stripping it, but coming away with a steal.
Maurer, so that's tipped in the backcourt by Shappy. Now to Dosek. Dosek, one of 2 seniors on the team. Nice drive. And they will call a charge.
I think it's the right call. And boy, Dosek had a lot of speed, and I really liked her energy. Just wish she would have sidestepped instead of running through the Raider defender. I miss who took the charge, but it was, I think, a pretty solid call. Each official making sure they all kind of had the right one and didn't want someone to call on a block and the other one calling a charge. So tough break for Kennedy Dosek, though. She picks up her first foul.
Reese Gubo sets us up off to Shappy, to Poling. On the wing, it's Gubo. There's CC Borchers, leading scorer at 13 points a game. First team all-league, and that was a 5-second count. Is good defense being played there by Melanie Maurer.
Yeah, Maurer just basically playing hands-away defense, less than 6 feet. That kept the count on. And as Borchers was trying to get her team to move, kind of got caught a little bit, and I won't say sleeping, just maybe lost track of time and got the 5-second whistle against her.
Dosek. They pass it around. There's a ball on the floor, jump ball. We keep it with Botkins. These two teams played two times, of course, in the Shelby County Athletic League. The first game at Russia on December 22nd was won by the Raiders 50-32, and they also won the rematch against Botkins at Botkins 56-27. Drive to the hoop. Shot there by Dosek, blocked away.
Well, she had another strong move. She went hard to the basket. Sherman, I think, got the block, but it'll stay with, was it Sherman or Poling?
I think it was Sherman.
Okay. But
Twin Towers, both of them 6 foot and 6'1".
It was a nice move by Dosek. That time she, again, twice now, she's going to the glass hard. Remember I said they're small vertically, they like to shoot, but they also will go at the basket. Basically just put their head down and weave through the defense to get to the hoop.
Tallest starter for Botkins is Maurer at 5'8". As I mentioned, Russia has 2 6-footers in the lineup. Drive to the baskets. It's Maurer who banks it home.
Well, there's one of those times. We've seen them now go to the basket 3 times here in their first few possessions. So they're not afraid to go inside.
Gubo to Shappy. Back to Gubo. Over 43s on the season for Reese Gubo. Gubo now on the wing. Gives it over to Borchers. She'll let the 3 go and hit it.
27th make on the season from that range for Borchers, a 31% shooter from three-point range.
Gives the lead to Russia. There's tipped away there by Sherman. Gubo down to Poling. Nice catch and basket.
2 nice plays. Sherman steals at that end, one of the taller players, and then Poling, an acrobatic catch. it maybe didn't look difficult. I mean, it maybe looked easy, but that's a tough thing, reaching back behind your head, getting it, and then keeping your balance to get a shot off the glass.
Give the assist to Reese Gubo, and quickly a 5-2 lead for Russia on our First National Bank scoreboard. First National Bank, think first, our longtime scoreboard sponsor. Pass shot up by Camden Paul, blocked. Paul with another chance, wide open Trey, hits back iron. Long rebound to Sherman. Gubo up ahead to Borchers. Russia will run it when they get the chance. They are tall but also very athletic. Borchers can't find an opening, hands it off to Gubo. Underneath, it's Poling. She was there too long. 3 seconds called.
Third turnover on the Raiders, and on the defensive end, we talked about Botkins going into the basket. Twice now they've had their shot rejected. I think both times by Kate Sherman. That's blocks 36 and 37 on the season for Sherman.
32, Jana Metz in the game. Also, Delana Pitts into the game. She wasn't expected to play, injured an ankle a couple games ago, so good to see Pitts out there.
She is an athletic, I almost think of her as like a pinball. She is just all over the place. She gets from here to there pretty quickly. She can move sideways. Now with the ankle, I don't know how well she'll be able to do it. It's good to see her. She has not played in a few games. I think she got hurt second last game of the season. But if they can have her healthy, she's a weapon. She's with the basketball right there is what I mean.
Drive by Pitts. Quick drive. Rebound there by Simone Putoff into the game.
Yeah, Delaney Pitts on a roster. She also will be called Dee Pitts. But the times I've seen her, she's been very aggressive and has ability to score the basketball off the dribble for the 5'7" sophomore.
Reese Gubo. There's a foul on the rebound against Russia.
Good box out by the Trojans. That's what I talked about. You got to keep your body in front of the enemy, in this case the Raiders, and hope that they push you. And they did. The foul goes against number 22, Simone Putoff, right?
Simone Putoff, yes. She got injured after about 3 games and didn't play until the first tournament game she played. They didn't think she'd be back all year, but now this is her 3rd game back. And there's a steal by Gubo.
Double team forced that as the Botkins dribbled into the corner, drew the double team, and then couldn't find the open player.
Sherman.
Good help side by Dosek.
And we'll have a jump ball. She read that on the pass to Dosek.
They're small, but they're quick. I mean, they cover a lot of ground, and Dosek's had a couple nice defensive plays. She won't get credit for anything here because the possession will stay with the Raiders.
They're small, quick, and they're also strong. Nice pass underneath the Borchers. Good pass by Simone Putoff.
5 in the game for Borchers. Here comes the double team again. That's what they're looking for, is that pass across the lane. And
they steal away from Dosek, but then travel there by Gubo, so it'll stay with Botkins.
You see that pressure coming. They are not disguising it. You know it's coming. Botkins has got to find the open player before they get into the deep trap zone.
The other thing is the height. It's hard to see around
That's
the
true.
taller players.
It's easy up here. Nice. The right idea, but good job by Kelby Dosek coming over and recognizing the backdoor cut.
Dosek, 16-footer. Good rebound there by Pitts.
Yeah, she's all over.
Ball tipped around. Sherman ends up with it.
5 turnovers for the Trojans.
Borchers to Gubo. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in our first quarter of action here. Along with Jeff Hench, and I'm Dave Knapke. Glad you're joining us here on NKTelco Sports. First game was won by Fort Laramie. They defeated a determined Jackson Center team 47-33 as Borchers is fouled on the way to the basket.
2 shots coming up for Borchers.
Fort Laramie advanced to the district final at Troy on Saturday.
But the winner of this game will not play Fort Laramie.
No, they will not play Fort Laramie. They'll play the winner of Legacy Christian and Ripley UL. Ripley was 7-13 in the draw. Legacy Christian is the number 1 seed in their Monroe sectional. They were 15-3 in the draw, so they think they're favored. They don't play. They play tomorrow, Tuesday the 21st. So an opportunity, if you will, for the winning team to scout their upcoming opponents as We were talking in the first game. It used to be called the sectional finals were all on Saturday. You didn't play the following Saturday. I think they've decided, let's spread it out a little bit instead of having a week in between there. So 1 of 2 there by Borchers. Foul on the drive on Russia.
Big free throws coming up here for the Trojans. They've had trouble scoring. Again, that's 3 or 4, at least 4 times they've driven at the basket, basically forced the Raiders to defend. Now, Sherman's had a couple blocks on her effort. This time they pick up a foul against Kelby Dosick.
Camden Paul misses the first one.
No, she made it.
Oh, she made it. Okay.
I
thought she did, and then the scoreboard did. Okay.
You fooled me. I thought she did too, and then I thought, well, maybe I didn't see it.
She hits both of them. Honorable mention selection, the Shelby County Athletic League.
Player of the Year in soccer. The Western Ohio Soccer Association hits her first 2 points of the game here. 75% free throw shooter.
CC Borchers splits the defenders and banks it home. Borchers now with 8.
She's not missed a field goal. She's 1 of 2 from the line, but she's been very aggressive.
And we will have a travel there.
Pressure defense again. Russia kind of forcing Botkins to play a little bit faster than what they want maybe, and you get a little antsy, and what you think you see maybe is gone, and you try to make the best pass, and sometimes you just drag your feet, and has resulted nicely for the Raiders defense, forcing 6 turnovers here in the quarter.
Gubo with the basketball and a 6-point lead. Borchers 8 of the 10. Gubo with the tray. Nice rebound by Poling. So work it back to Gubo as they reset. Borchers to Dosick. Dosick's wide open. Another 16-footer. Draws back iron. Rebound by Borchers. Rolls out. Tipped around there by Poling. Ultimately, it goes out of bounds. And it'll be Botkins' ball. Called by our old referee, Joe Turner. Our own NKTelco, Joe Turner. The other referees tonight, Thomas Graham and Kevin Forer. I'd like to thank the men in stripes for what they do for the game of basketball. Botkins down by 6 with the basketball. Maurer will drive. She was second team all-league. Drive to the hoop. Nice bounce pass. That was Metz on the shot.
She had a nice night in her game against Mississinawa Valley. 6 points in that ball game.
Borchers
been very active. She's going back. Second trip to the line for her. She's 1 of 2, but she's on pace to really light it up here. She's got off to a good start with 8 points.
She was second team all-league last year. She moved up to first team this year. She misses the first foul shot.
70% free throw shooter on the season, came in 69 of 98. Now 1 for 3, a chance to go 2 for 4 and get her her 9th point.
And she does. Borchers joined on the first team by Kate Sherman. Also, Reese Gubo, second team all Shelby County League, and Ronnie Poling, honorable mention. So 4 Russia Raiders with all league mention.
Addison Shappy, number 21, into the Russia lineup.
Botkins breaks the pressure. 3 ball is long
by Dietz. Kind of a rush shot, but that's her first 3-point shot they've taken tonight. Second, I should say. Nope. Yeah, second.
J.L. Shappy. Pass to Poling. Great pass by Gubo. Great timing on that play.
Again, Poling with a bigger frame, able to kind of shield and hold back the Botkins defender. Made it look pretty easy, but there was a lot of footwork, if you will, that Poling put in to make that pass available.
Dosick with the drive. Keep it alive. It's Maurer with the 3.
That's where she hit 4 of them at back to back in the Mississinawa Valley third quarter. She was on fire, and again, it brought the Trojans back.
Down to 5 seconds. Gubo will drive. Runner is short. Sherman with the follow. We've played a quarter of basketball here at the Hive of Sidney. On the First National Bank scoreboard, Russia by 6. We'll be back with the second quarter on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
1 quarter in the books. Tournament action here between Botkins and Russia. And our First National Bank scoreboard, Russia leads 13-7.
Trojans in the first quarter, 2 of 8 from the field. That included 1 of 5 2-point shooting, 1 of 3 3-point shooting, 2 of 2 from the foul line. For the Russia Raiders, they were 2 of 4 from the free throw line and 4 of 9 2-point shooting, 1 of 3 3-point shooting. Raiders finish the first period 5 of 13 from the field. Just 3 turnovers for the Raiders. Botkins committed 6.
Three-pointer shot by Pitts. Able to get her own rebound. Work around to Maurer. Hand it off to Dosick.
The Trojans shoot a lot of three-pointers. They have a lot of volume. They only shoot it at 25% accuracy.
Mauer's shot is rebounded by Sherman.
She maybe acted like maybe she was fouled, maybe. I'm not sure if she was or wasn't, but Dosick's going to get her second.
Wasn't a bad foul because Poland was wide open underneath. Woodolph was trying to get it to her. In the game, number 10, Janelle Plattfoot returns. Only 2 seniors on this Botkins team. Kennedy Dosick
and Lydia Dietz.
Lydia Dietz, yep. Didn't see her right away. Sherman, the basketball to Borchers. Borchers already with 9. Has to pick up her dribble. It goes off of her leg. The Trojans ball.
Pretty good defense there by Melanie Maurer. Those two, I think, almost look identical to me. It's they both have the same build style. Borchers might be a little bit taller, but when they're playing out, they both play physical. They're both strong, athletic, lean body styles, and that time Maurer got the best of Borchers.
Maurer trying to work through the pressure herself is tipped out by Gubo. Botkins' probably biggest one of the season. They knocked off Parkway, the first loss for Parkway, who ended up, they were 20-2 during the regular season. Won the share of the MAC, lost their first tournament game the other night.
Wayne Trace.
Wayne Trace. So that was the biggest win for Botkins. That was the first loss for Parkway. That was in early January. There's another rebound there by Kate Sherman. Quickly ahead as they work it around there to Sherman. Put off. Borchers open for the 3. Nice rebound there by
Jana Metz.
6.5 to go. Russia with a 6-point lead. It feels like they had a bigger lead. They did for a little bit. Botkins is hanging in there. So these teams meeting for the 3rd time this season as we will have a foul on CC Borchers.
And I believe the past 2 years, Russia has knocked Botkins out of the tournament.
So I know they did last year. I was here at the game. They knocked off Botkins then, so
2 years in a row, I should say. Botkins' last game or their loss was to Russia.
Yeah, these Shelby County athletic teams, as Maurer's in some trouble, they often play each other 3 times and knock each other out of the tournament. Good ball movement to Metz with the basket.
Good bounce pass by Lydia Dietz. She got it from the backside. Again, the bounce pass and a 4-point deficit as Coach Bremergen will take a timeout.
30-second timeout that gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors for making this telecast possible. Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Coop, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Crown Equipment, and NKTelco. Our additional sponsors Brick Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Freedom Incorporated, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and St. Henry Bank, our fine sponsors, making all these telecasts possible. If you're in any of those fine businesses, make sure you thank them and say that you heard their name mentioned on NKTelco Sports as a sponsor. Borchers will take it across the timeout out of this Precision Strip timeout. All the timeouts sponsored by Precision Strip. Simone Putoff with a jumper.
Well, nice to see her. She missed quite a bit of the season, and to be able to come in right there following a timeout, hits the mid-range jumper.
Shot off there by Botkins by number 10 there, Flatfoot. Rushi with the basketball, 6-point lead. Poling will hit about a 14-footer.
She now has 6 points in the ball game, and her 3 for 3 from the field. And again, they've had two big shots here. Mid-range jumpers from Poling. That was a tough shot. And then the one before by Simone Putoff.
Corner 3, and there is a foul as Poling.
6'1". Poling picks up, I'll give her 4'11 and a half. Lydia Dietz is a nice gesture there by Poling, who knew she fouled Dietz in the act of shooting, but so there's some of the size difference.
Foot difference there is Lydia Dietz will now have 3 foul shots. There's
Dietz,
one.
Dave is a state golfer. She
State
and her
golfer.
brother, for Botkins, qualified as state.
Botkins' whole team as a boys qualified for state this year. Placed really, forget exactly, but pretty high. It's Lydia, senior with now 1 out of 2. And brings back the old Meatloaf song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Always try to work that in when I can.
I've heard it before.
Yeah. From the Bat Out of Hell
it is still,
CD.
It is still fun, or still funny. Still clever.
Still clever is right. And that ball will go into the backcourt. I don't know if it was tipped. I guess it was. The referee is signaling that as Borchers.
Yeah, Maurer and Borchers kind of going head-to-head. They're about, I mentioned the size, really Borchers listed to 5'9", Maurer's listed to 5'8".
Nice move there by Borchers. She banks it home for her number 10 and 11 points. Maurer has to give it up. There's Pitts with the basketball.
Well, her ankle
crossover dribble through the lane, and there's one too many steps.
That's a nice effort, and she's frustrated, but boy, they need shots to drop, and other than a little bonus step, it went in, of all things. I mean, that's usually what happens, is the shots that go in don't count, but I'd say she looks pretty good on the ankle. We've seen her go to the basket a couple times here.
Shappy has to give it up to Poling. Halfway through the second quarter. Good battle here between these familiar foes. Rushi up by 8. They've been in the lead the whole time, but I believe this match is their biggest lead as Poling gives it up to Borchers. Sherman trying to post up underneath. Borchers gives it to Shappy. There's to Sherman. Pull up, in. They were trying to get that ball to Sherman for a long time, and they patiently finally did.
She hasn't had many touches. That's just her second shot, and I think the first one was off a rebound. It's her first points of the game. Maurer's open.
For the 3, Melanie Maurer.
That's good rhythm. You can almost sense it. And that was even a little bit deeper 3, but she's 2 for 2 from that range tonight. Numbers 40 and 41 on the season.
We'll have a foul on number 12. That's Delaney Pitts.
I thought it was it is on 12. DD Pitts or Delaney Pitts, her second foul.
Kelby Dosick in the game, 5'10 senior. One of 8 seniors on this Rushi team. A very
senior.
They've had a lot of success.
Seasoned. I think seasoned is what they call old people now. Seasoned.
Banked in by Poling.
She's 4 for 4 from the field, 8 points.
I started to say these seniors have had a lot of success in basketball, volleyball, and softball. Very decorated class. Expecting more in the softball this spring as well, as Coach Carson's going to call a full timeout. We'll step aside. We'll be right back here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Coming out of this timeout, sponsored by Precision Strip. Coach Carson trying to make some adjustments, down by 9.
Well, it's tough to do. You've got a very aggressive Russia defense just smothering you and forcing you into some tough positions. And here's a trap zone. And, again, they just come at you. You got to get out of the corner, if you will. It's Dosek. Again, good hands by the Raiders. And it's going to force a turnover. So we take a timeout, basically end up with a turnover. Now, that is just their first turnover of the second quarter. They had 6 of those in the first, so much better job for the Trojans taking care of the basketball. But, that's just the thing. Rushis can cover so much ground. Looks like a zone here, 3-2.
3-2 zone, very extended.
Yep, they're coming out and picking up the ball handler.
Gubo to Poling. Shappy thought about it. Underneath the Dosick. Dosick in for Borchers right now is Shappy. Work it around the perimeter. Poling trying to post up at the elbow. Shappy will be charged.
Lydia Dietz took it for the Trojans, and a good job getting in front of number 20, Shappy. And that's the second turnover. Just 5 turnovers in the ball game for Coach Bremergen's Raiders.
Put off back into the game, as well as Kate Sherman. And Botkins, 14-10 on the season. Their 4th straight winning season. Last 3 years in reverse order, 17-8, 17-8, and 16-8. Very good last 4 years of basketball for the Trojans.
Chalking up some wins, and
yes,
that's what it takes.
So the seniors have been part of all those wins, which don't come easy in the Shelby County Athletic League.
Winning it, there's a nice move by Dietz. Winning is not easy. Now, losing is, if you look at it that way, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to win ball games. So teams that do it consistently, hats off. As there's a foul against Metz.
As Putoff came up with a steal. As Dosick will leave in favor of Plattfoot. Botkins crowd trying to give the jinx or heebie-jeebies to Rushi players. There will be a pass to Borchers. She traveled. Yeah, she needed to dribble one time.
But she picked up the wrong foot twice. She had it right. You don't need to, I hate to say it, if you're scoring, it's a layup, but she did the same foot, I think, twice.
Yeah.
She needed to step left and then go up, and she went right, or something like that. It's hard to explain.
It looked wrong, so you do it's...
Anymore, though, I study, I look at stuff and try to figure out why was that a travel or why wasn't a travel. It seems like you get away with a lot more stuff, but tough break there again. The defense, Botkins just probably a minute ago, I said, had committed their first turnover. They've had now 2 back-to-back, 3 here in the last probably minute and a half of action. That gives them 9 and a half. And Rushi just with 5 turnovers.
Borchers, nice job getting it to Gubo. Able to tip it there. Gubo to Borchers. Sherman back. Gubo with the 3. Reese Gubo, her first 3 points.
Number 46 on the season, a 39% shooter. Her first points of the night, 1 of 4 now from three-point range for 5'6" senior Reese Gubo.
And there's the steal by Putoff. Have to pull up to Borchers. That's blocked. And Noah goes out. There's Putoff with the follow. And 2 shots coming up here by Simone Putoff. Putoff looks pretty natural out there. That first game back, she was very gingerly. And
yeah, I mean, she hasn't played a lot of basketball, so it's good to see her back in the rotation. And just glad she's able to play, and she's going to get a chance here to knock down a free throw and an offensive rebound.
Putoff's 3 now on the season. I was just going to say before that three-pointer by Guba, I think it's the first double-digit lead there. Now they've extended it to 13. And now 14.
4 points in the quarter for Simone Putoff.
Paul with the basketball. Gives it up to Maurer. That's tipped out of bounds right in front of Coach Bremagen.
But there, again, Maurer's pass to Dietz, it was a straight line pass. She had to throw it over the head of a Raiders' hands. You got to be able to find a better angles. You can't stand behind. You can't play straight line offense. You got to move the ball on a side and then go get it.
Putoff with a nice steal. Coach Bremagen. Timeout. Good hustle by Putoff. Coach Bremagen with 511 wins coming in tonight. Calls the timeout.
Did you say he and Carla Siegel each got their 500th win on the same night?
The same night. I don't remember exactly who they were against, but they were on the same night. We were talking about that the other day. What's the odds? First of all, you got to have, there's not many leagues that have 2 coaches that have 500 wins actively coaching. And they both hit 500 on the same night. Carla Siegel.
Now, she did all hers with Fort Laramie girls.
Fort Laramie, where Coach Bremagen, he had 31 years coaching the boys in Russia. Went 4 years over to Troy. I think he sat out a year, or I'm not sure he sat out or not. And then the girl spot opened up. It's like, I can coach girls too. It's still basketball.
And
so it's his second year. Second year. 509 and 344. Or 511 and 344. That is 955 games.
So he's nearing 1,000.
Wow. That's a lot. Or no, 855. I added it wrong. Still a lot. Figuring all the practices are probably about 3,000. Scrimmages. Unbelievable.
Film watching.
Yeah, we're under 10 seconds to go. Russia trying to extend this 14-point lead. Borchers, Gubo, a long 3 in and out. Tipped around. Botkins will not get a shot off. Russia pulls away a little bit at the end of the first half. They go to the locker room on our First National Bank scoreboard. 28-14. We'll be back with the first half stats in the second half here on NKTelco Sports.
We are here. And here. And here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Laramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Lift your career to new heights with Crown, an innovative global leader in the material handling industry with over a 75-year history of growth and success. We're seeking career-minded candidates for a wide variety of entry-level and skilled positions in our new Bremen, New Knoxville, Salina, Minster, and other U.S. locations. Visit crown.jobs to apply or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the Internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
We're at halftime. Russia leads Botkins by 14. First half numbers, Mr. Jeff Henshin.
In the first half for the Botkins Trojans, they finished the half 2-point shooting 1 of 8, 3-point shooting 2 of 5. Overall, they were 3 of 11 from the field, only 11 shots. From the free throw line, they were 4 of 5 from the free throw line. For Russia, 9 of 16 2-point shooting, 2 of 6 3-point shooting. Overall, 11 of 22, right at 50%, and they were 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Turnovers in the first half for Botkins, they committed 11. Russia had 5, and rebounding for Botkins, they had a total of 11 rebounds. And for the Raiders, they pulled down a total of 11 as well. A little bit more offensive rebounding for the Raiders. I had them down as 5, and some of those they did put back up for points. Turnovers, I think I mentioned that, 5 for Russia, 11 for Botkins. That, again, got them out of their rhythm and their pace and didn't allow them to get many shots off. They only took 11 shots in the first 2 quarters, so those turnovers really hurt them there, and they only made 3 of 11, but they did hit on 2 of 5 3-pointers. That's kind of kept them in game, but boy, they're trailing now by 14.
Yeah, some of the individual numbers, Jeff.
For Botkins, 8 points from Mulaney Maurer, 2 apiece from the following 3 ladies: Camden Paul, Lydia Dietz, and Jana Metz. Their total of 14. For Russia, 1 player in double figures. That is Cece Borgers. Nice first half with 11. Ronnie Poling also 4 for 4 from the field. She ends up now with 8. 4 from Simone Putoff, 3 from Reese Gubo, and 2 from Kate Sherman. Their total of 28.
So in the first half, Russia was in control and lead. It seemed like the last 2 or 3 minutes is when they really took it. Spread it out. It was about a 7-point game, and I don't know exactly how many they scored, how many at the end there, but
I've got it. It was 13-9. It was 13-7 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
And it was 13-9 about a couple minutes into the second quarter. Then the next score I have was 23-14 with just under 3 minutes to play.
Yep.
And then
Gubo hit the 3 and then 2 free throws by
5 more
there.
Points to end it. So it was about a 9-point game with 3 minutes to go, and then a 5-0 run pushes it into double figures up to 14. So critical that the Trojans kind of get off to a Mississauga Valley third quarter like they did last week, and it's all started with making shots, and they did that extremely well. Mulaney Maurer really led that spark, and I think she missed 1 in the third quarter. I know tonight she's 2 for 2. I'm trying to think if she's gone 6 for 6 in a row, but she really got them started with her shooting, and that was kind of contagious as a number of Trojans hit threes. They went on to hit 11 as a team.
That tied a school record, 11 in one game. So it'll be a foul as Russia with the first.
Poling will pick up her second foul.
Want another shout out to the Botkins student section. There, the black out there, and see on the right side, they're all in black.
Yeah, they were here the other night, too. They did a nice job. And Miss Sinawah Valley also had a loud student section, and those kind of, if you will, sections went back and forth in fun. Back-to-back fouls here for the Raiders.
Plattfoot. The foul. Nobody. Poling has 2 fouls. I don't know if anybody else has.
I don't have anyone else down. That's Sherman's first.
Janelle Plattfoot. This is the first one. 5'7" junior. Averages just under 7 points a game.
Well, these are shots so they've got to hit. It's one of the rare times they'll be able to get looks without somebody in their face. They come away empty.
Sherman with the rebound. Gubo ahead to Shappy. It's like Rushi with the same starters that started ball game. Our lineup sponsored by Emerson Climate Technologies, as we'll have a travel there by Rushi.
Just a 6th Raider turnover.
Rushi advanced here on 2 easy wins over Triad and over Bradford, over the 13 seed Triad and 14 Bradford. The big discrepancies from top to bottom here in this sectional, I still call it. It's Sidney at the Hive. They've hosted it for a long time here. And that will be on the end line. A turnover will give it to Rushi.
Sideline,
not the end line.
That's a dozen now turnovers for the Trojans. Again, they needed to get off. They have to get off to a good start. They've already missed 2 free throws and turned it over. So they don't take advantage of either of their opportunities. And then the Raiders had to turn over their first look, but now Sherman's, was that a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer?
2-pointer, about a 17-footer.
So a chance here, though, for the Trojans. They got to get started again, get some of that confidence they had their what was now the sectional championship game against Sinawah Valley.
Both these teams playing their 3rd game here. Drive to the basket by Maurer, too strong. Rebound there by Gubo.
Nice move, but I'm pretty sure she sensed that Sherman was in the area. Sherman had a couple blocks in the first half. I think it was numbers 36 and 37 for Sherman on the season.
Ronnie Poling, too strong on the bank shot. And there'll be a jump ball. Good play there by J.L. Shappy with the jump ball. Will stay with Rushi. In the game, Delaney Pitts in for Botkins, number 12. Where this game will play on Saturday afternoon. Pitts with the steal.
No one's on the catcher.
All the way for the basket.
I tell you, she's explosive and she stays healthy. Again, playing on a kind of a bad ankle. You wouldn't guess it, but she's a tough one to stop in the open court.
Just a sophomore. Nice pass. Borchers to Ronnie Poling. Poling in double figures with 10.
Nice pass to your right by Borchers. A nice assist for her.
Maurer across the timeline.
Borchers averages about 3 assists per game. That was a very easy one as Poling is now 5 of 6 from the field.
That's tipped into the backcourt. That's a double dribble. There is Dosick, picked it up and then dribbled again.
Those block shots for Borchers, I was right. She came in with 35 block shots on the season. They've played, 24 games. That's over about a block and a half, just under a block and a half per game. She had a couple tonight.
If you have more than 1 block a game, on average, that's a
pretty good
average. Rushi on the attack. Gubo will shoot a 3 and drain it. Splash, if you will, by Gubo.
Her second make of the game for numbers 46 and 47 on the season. And again, a pretty decent shooter from that area, 39% coming in.
Maurer with an NBA 3. Found by Gubo. Just going to comment, Rushi has a very good balance of inside and outside play, and that's tipped away there from Gubo. Pass ahead. Paul chases it down. Good job and good hustle by Camden Paul.
What started that play was a hustle by number 12, Dee Pitts. She came from out of nowhere as Dosick almost comes up with the steal, but Pitts was the one that hustled down with her speed, knocked the basketball away from behind from a Raider. That led the instant offense to the other end of the court that allowed Camden Paul to score.
Jana Metz into the game, number 32 For Botkins, Kelby Dosick, number 10. Simone Putoff, number 22. In for the Raiders, who have a 15-point lead about halfway through this third quarter. Dosick to Borchers. Gubo. Sherman.
Whoa.
Sherman had a battle on the floor. Hopefully everybody's okay.
I know everyone seems to be okay.
Sure. Russia fans, I'm sure, held their breath. They've had a lot of odd injuries this year. Not on all the, some of the starters, a lot of the bench players have been.
Yeah, they're missing a couple already tonight, and Carly Scott and Maya Monin.
Yep.
And I don't know all the details for those, and obviously with
Simone Putoff back.
So yeah, it's. Oh, there's almost a Sherman almost could have been called for foul running through Pitts' screen, but.
There's Dosick. Gives it up to Pitts. Pass underneath to Metz, and she draws the foul on Dosick.
Again, good body control. Used her frame, if you will, to shield or to keep Dosick from behind her. And then Dee Pitts slammed her, rifled the ball through her, and made a nice catch and drew the foul, the second foul against Dosick.
Lydia Dietz into the game. One of the two seniors on this team, along with Dosick. The sophomore Pitts hands it off to Dietz. Now in some trouble, double teamed, and she's tied up. Good double team by Dosick, and Simone Putoff causes the alternate possession turnover to Rishi.
Right idea by Dietz, just ran out of real estate and too many bodies in the way and couldn't get rid of it. But she's pretty crafty with the basketball. Quick ball handling, give the Raiders credit for their defense maintaining her and just basically keep them in front of her.
Gubo, pull up jumper. Dosick with the rebound and sticks it in.
Offensive putback for points for the Raiders.
Steal by Putoff. Sherman to Gubo and back to Sherman. You take it. No, I'll take it. So Sherman ultimately finishes.
I don't want it. You can have it. As Sherman tried to be nice, and Gubo gave back to her and passed a little bit off the mark.
Another timeout sponsored by Precision Strip, this time called by Botkins. A full timeout. You're watching tournament basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Coming out of this Precision Strip timeout, the Trojans find themselves down by 19 to Rishi.
Well, the Trojans needed to get a good start off the halftime break. It has not happened. The Raiders have kind of held serve and not let the Trojans get any type of positive energy, which is what the Trojans needed to come back into this ball game. It's now a 19-point deficit, and the Raiders continue to play pretty sound and forcing the Trojans into, again, a handful of turnovers here in the quarter and just very tough shooting with constant defensive pressure.
Nice entry pass there by Pitts into Metz. Jana will shoot two.
Kelby Dosick, her third foul. And again, I think didn't have an angle here, but I'm sure Dosick's arms were not straight up vertical. And anytime they're kind of leaning forward, Metz in this case, if you can kind of go through those arms, good chance you're going to get the foul on, in this case, Dosick, and that's what happened. Metz hits the free throw, her third point of the game.
That's a 5'5" sophomore.
She had 6 points in her game against Miss Seneca Valley, and I believe 8 against the team they played before that, career high. That was against Triad or
Franklin
Franklin Monroe.
Ball is tipped out of bounds, so turnover will give it to Botkins. See if they can, down by 18, they need to make a quick run. Try to get about 10, and then you can think about going from there. But one possession at a time is all you can do with Pitts with the basketball. And there is a steal. Put off as she carried it or double dribbled. Tried to cross over, and it became more of a pick it up and throw it over here. Dribble it over here. Again, easy for us up here.
Yep.
Nobody's right in front of you you're trying to dribble it around it. Maurer will take it up. 2:20 to go. Third quarter here in the last game at Sidney High School here for this season for girls basketball. Shout out to the Sidney girls that they finished the season. They went down. Tough end, a great season.
Yeah, and they've had
for
some
Sidney girls.
Some good runs, if you will, here the past few seasons of Sidney, and never want to lose, but they suffered a loss the other night in their tournament action.
Drive to the basket.
Tough shot, left-handed.
Maurer.
Remember I said they like to shoot threes and go at the basket. How many times have we seen them kind of force their will? And that was a tough shot by Maurer.
There's a shot made by Kate Sherman.
It's a nice jumper. It's a mid-range shot, and she's hit a couple of those. I think both her buckets in this quarter have come from that range. No, her last bucket was underneath the basket, but Sherman has hit some shots from about 10.
Maurer at the volleyball 10-foot line.
Long rebound.
And it hits the referee out of bounds. And the referees are just right at part of the court, if you will, is that right in front of Coach Carson. Some more substitutions. We'll just reset the lineup as we have J.L. Shappy into the game. We have C.C. Borchers, Ronnie Poling, Addison Shappy, and
Twin Towers.
Yep, Twin Towers. There's you have Kate Sherman. There's Addison Shappy. We're around to Poling now. Borchers. Borchers had 9 early, has 11 right now. It's Addison Shappy.
She got Russia off to a nice start in the first quarter with those 9 first quarter points.
There's a steal and a steal right back after Pitts had stolen it. Russia right back. Shappy to Shappy. Sherman trying to drive. Shappy doesn't find a lane. She'll back up to reset it. We can afford to be patient with an 18-point lead as we get down to around 20 seconds here in the third quarter. A lot of good ball handlers on this Russia team.
We've seen a number of people handle it right here in this possession, and it's like everyone seems like very comfortable with it.
Oh, it would be a
illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
It's tough when you can't get your defender, in this case Paul, right off the screen, and I think Sherman tried to make herself a little bit bigger, and end result is a foul and a turnover.
Down to 6 seconds. Drive to the basket by Dosick. Doesn't fall. And that's the end of the third quarter on the First National Bank scoreboard. Russia by 18. We'll be back with the fourth quarter on NKTelco Sports.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
So go to the fourth quarter. The Raiders in control, up by 18.
Not real fancy in the third quarter for the Raiders, but they do continue to shoot the basketball very well. 5 of 8 from the field. That included 1 of 1 from three-point shooting. The Trojans didn't shoot bad, but only 7 shots. They made 3 of them, just under 50%. There's a steal and a instant offense.
Gubo, the basket. Gubo now with 8.
Just a few more looks in the third quarter for the Raiders, and they, again, the 5 field goals compared to just a 3 for Botkins, and then one of those buckets was a three-pointer. So not a lot of scoring in the third quarter. 11 for the Raiders, but 7 for the Trojans. They've gone 7, 7, and 7.
Maurer will try to do a reverse layup.
We've seen her do a lot of stuff. We've seen her shoot a reverse layup there. We've seen her shoot some long threes. We've seen her drive into the front of the basket through the key and shoot an opposite hand shot for a bucket. So she's trying to do whatever she can. She's not one-dimensional.
Very athletic and a nice player. Will be back next year. Hits the first free throw now with 10 tonight.
On the season, 73% free throw shooter, 32% three-point shooter. And again, handles the ball here tonight. And, this point guards probably, I don't know if they dream about these games, but when you know you're going to be hounded the whole entire time you have the basketball, that's a tough one to sleep on, knowing the amount of pressure you're going to be under trying to run the offense for your team.
Unusual night, Monday night. Girls don't normally have a lot of Monday night games, so imagine both these teams probably practice on Sunday. Nice move by the big girl, Kate Sherman.
And I wonder with President's Day how many teams at school today.
That's true. They probably treat it almost like a Saturday. I doubt if any of them had school. Treat it like a Saturday. They wake up, have a shoot around, talk about the scattering point. Nice block there by Ronnie Poling on the shot there by Metz.
Yep, good defense. Everything was fine. Everyone, a nice pass, a good shot, a great defensive play. It does stay with the Trojans, but that's the difference between 6 foot and a 5'5".
Yes.
That's 7-8 inches.
Talking about both teams, all these teams being off, as Maurer will shoot the 3. Rebound by Sherman. She is fouled. Coaches don't usually like when girls or players are not at school. It kind of throws off the routine. You want the routine. School.
Be something to do. Keep your mind occupied so you're not laying around watching Netflix or whatever it is.
Yeah,
all
just
day.
Doing nothing is worse than doing too much.
Being drowsy and just lackluster. Sometimes you'll have that.
And can't blame these kids. These kids are very busy. They have practice about every day. They can still, they need to have time to be kids too. So when they get a day off, I don't blame them. Take it a little easy.
Yeah, because you don't get all those days off in the real world.
No. Enjoy it while you can. Sherman thought about a 3. Borchers will shoot the 3.
Poling
Good
got
rebound by Poling. All on the floor. It will stay with Rushi. Stay with Rushi.
Again, this is the third season that Botkins and Rushi have met in the Sidney tournament here. So Rushi has knocked Botkins out in the past 2 seasons and are 6.5 minutes away from doing it for the 3rd time.
Quick pass to Sherman. Gubo. And there's Sherman again. She's had a whole bunch of rebounds tonight. We don't keep individual rebounds with just... She's had a whole bunch of offensive and defensive. She's fouled.
Well, she's 6'1", and again, you mentioned the tallest player in the Botkins lineup is 5'8", and that's probably stretching it on some of those. But she's tall and she's athletic, so I mean it's a good combination.
Very good volleyball player as well. And Sherman with the ball, passes it to Poling.
D.D. Pitts, though, in the area, if you will, for the Trojans to save that. Nice bounce pass. Pitts knocked it away, forced a Raider turnover.
Maurer, or Dosick in some trouble. Maurer will drive. There's Sherman again.
Well, she came in with 35. I'm not for sure. Give her 3 or 4 tonight, so she's almost pushing 40 blocks on the season.
Rushi with the ball and a 20-point lead. Pass it underneath. There's Gubo. Rushi can be pretty content. hang on to this 20-point lead. They'll have a few more practices and come back on Saturday at Troy High School. The time is to be determined. They always try to see who plays when, and sometimes they have to schedule around boys' games that are the same day, as that is on its way as well in the Southwest and Northwest District this week. 5 minutes ago, Russia just running through their offense in no hurry, trying to get their 21st win of the season.
Polling's definitely trying to catch it inside. She's expending, but Metz is challenging her pretty aggressively as well. I mean, everything's clean, but right now Rushi just content. Ball maneuver, ball possession around the perimeter.
Rushi last year was knocked off in the district final. Polling, that's stripped away.
Dosek, she's had her hands in a number of basketballs today, creating turnovers. And again, it went in, but will not count as Pitts kind of shuffled them before she was able to get her layup approach in.
Fort Laramie won the first game here. They will play, they defeated Jackson Center by 14. They will play in the district final at Troy. Rushi will play not against them, but if they would both advance, they would both play in the regional semifinal, which I think is at Vandalia.
Yeah, I think it is Vandalia Butler. Now I just had a lapse. I don't remember where it's at.
Yeah, it's at Vandalia Butler, I'm almost sure. The opposite side of that bracket probably be Tri-Village. It would be against the Walpock District winner, who's the number 1 seed in that is Marion. So a lot of our NKTelco teams, at least 3 or 4, could be there, but there's games to be played. You take nothing for granted. Tournament time.
Tri-Village played Rushi this year and came from behind early in the year and beat Rushi by, I think, 4 points.
Yes.
I was here and did the Tri-Village Sidney ball game, and that was a competitive game. Tri-Village won. So
Riley Sagerster going to Marshall, and Morgan Hunt also playing at college. And we will have a tie up there as Rushi running some time.
Yeah,
Botkins playing good defense, though, causing a couple turnovers. Yeah, the Tri-Village, those seniors, we've heard of them. Sagester and Hunt have played all 4 years. I feel like they've been there 7 or 8 years. But they're trying to. Last year they got knocked off in the regional finals by Cincinnati Country Days. Shot off the mark there by Pitts. Last year it was thought it was going to be
Fort
Laramie or Tri-Village.
In the finals.
In the final, it was Cincinnati Country Day when it came all the way out.
They beat Fort Laramie and then they beat Tri-Village.
And then they were then beat by the New Knoxville Rangers, who ended up going to the state finals, finished as state runners-up. Quite a year for New Knoxville. So my point is, you never quite know how the tournament will play out. And there's an
offensive foul against Poling.
She pushed off there. She tried to.
She was been working at it. Probably a good call. She looked like she kind of gave that forward lunge. She doesn't realize it's on her. It's all right. She's
sometimes where the referee is at, it can look more than it is sometimes. Yep. I'm not.
Kennedy Dosek checks out of the game. Hers a senior and gets her last kind of clap, and she played well. Didn't score, but boy, we've called her name on some defense, and as well as Lydia Dietz. So the 2 lone seniors for Botkins.
Nice move there by Coach Carson.
Yep.
Last time there, Dietz and Dosick. You know, they've been playing basketball, I'm sure, all through junior high and high school. It all comes to an end, but you never want to see it end. But fine career by Kennedy Dosick and Lydia Dietz. Talked about the 4 years. Botkins has won 16, 17, 17, and now 14. Very good. They were a part of those 4 years.
Oh, nice, tough. That's a good turnaround jumper on the baseline by Jana Metz. She now has 5 points in ball game, but tough shot there for the 5'5" sophomore.
On the wing there, they get it to Sherman. Long pass, too high. Fires up the Botkins student section.
Maybe I was by design. Hey, you go stand over by the kids. I'll chuck one over there a little bit high, see if I can knock one of them off.
Kate Sherman will leave. 6'1" senior.
8 points in the ball game.
Yep. 8 points, a few blocks.
A few, yes. Good handful.
A bunch of rebounds.
Yeah. Pretty wild, pretty I don't even say good ball game for her.
As Rushi will now win their 21st game. They won 20 last year. They're 20-6. They'll try to get past that district final that they lost in last year. Likely will play Legacy Christian, has a pretty good record. That will knock out of bounds. So I have a whole bunch of Botkins players in as the starters get one more, and the other players get one more round of applause from this grateful Botkins crowd. It's been a nice season for the Trojans. So I think there was high expectations, and they had a nice year. As also Reese Gubo will leave. So now the end result is pretty well decided. It's just a matter of the final score. Get some more girls with some playing time here as Kelby Dosick to Addison Shappy. JL Shappy. For 24, Courtney Flippo. Lob it down to Dosick. That's knocked out of bounds. Also in the game is number 32, Jenna York. Is one of 8 seniors on this team. Shay Hammond's in the game as Dosick, Shappy will leave. And Coach Bremergen trying to get everybody in here.
Number 12 for the basketball, Lacey Flippo. And as well, she came in with Shay Hammonds.
Thanks. Trying to recognize all these players. They spend a lot of time in practice as well. It's good for them to get some floor time. Pass underneath, knocked away. Coming in the game is Callie Gubo. Addison Shappy will leave. With 1:23 to go. Botkins will end their season at 14-11. Rushi will advance with a 21-4 record. Gubo gives it up to Flippo. Flippo underneath to Hammonds. Flippo. There's Gubo. Down low, Jenna York is fouled. The senior Jenna York will shoot 2. Fourth on Mets.
Jenna York on the line for Rushi shooting 2.
Jenna York in the scorebook with her first point. These 8 seniors, their career will continue on to Saturday. Rolls off. Rebound is Botkins. We'll set the lineup here. We have number 30, Kylie Mack. We have number 20 is Reagan McPherson. 14 is Grace Gutman. 24 is Sophia Braun. There's Gutman with the basketball to Mack. 3 ball there by McPherson. Rebound to Rushi. Courtney Flippo with the basketball. We are coming up on 30 seconds to go. Lacey Flippo tries to drive. 3 ball. Hit. There by Callie Gubo with the tray. Gubo with an exclamation point on night for the Raiders. There's Braun. We'll have a foul. That'll be the 7th team foul, or 8th team foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 coming here.
But the Raiders shot the ball very well when we wrap this up. They didn't miss many shots tonight. High percentage, which really helped them, using their size a little bit. I mean, the rebounding was there as well, but when you don't miss many shots offensively, you don't have many chance for rebound.
Kylie Mack with a 1-and-1. And in, junior Kylie Mack in the scorebook. Second toss here for Kylie. Hits a pair. 11.9 to go. Imagine Rushi almost dribble out the basketball. Flippo can contest it by Gutman, and we'll have a Turnover to Rushi, or to Botkins. Ron will dribble it out. Final score in our First National Bank scoreboard. It's Rushi 47, Botkins 27. Rushi will now advance to Saturday, the district final, against they'll play the winner of Legacy Christian and Ripley UL that play Tuesday at Monroe. Game time would be determined on Saturday at Troy High School. For the Botkins Trojans, they end their season at 14-11. Rushi, their season continues at 21-4. Score by quarters, Rushi led after 1, 13-7. 28-14 at halftime, 39-21 after 3. Our final score in our First National Bank scoreboard, Rushi 47, Botkins 27. Individual scoring for Botkins, Melanie Maurer with 12 points. Jana Metz with 5. Camden Paul with 4. Lydia Metz with 2. Delaney Pitts with 2. Kylie Mack with 2. For Rushi, they had Cece Borchers with 11. Ronnie Polium with 10. Kate Sherman with 8. Reese Gubo with 8. Simone Puddall with 4. Callie Gubo with 3. Grease-up, okay. I typed that in wrong. And then Kelby Dosick. And then Jenna York with 1 for their total of 47 with our...
Oh, it is Gubo.
Callie Gubo had the tray, so that was number 2 had the tree. So with our final team numbers, Mr. Jeff Henshin.
Field goal shooting for the Botkins Trojans for the game. They were 7 of 27 from the field. Only made 7 field goals. They were 5 of 18. 2-point shooting, 2 of 9. 3-point shooting, again, 7 of 27 for the Trojans. For Rouge, I mentioned late in the game, they didn't miss many shots. They were 15 of 25, 2-point shooting, 4 of 10, 3-point shooting. Overall, very impressive, 19 of 35. From the free throw line, Botkins 9 of 13. Rouge 5 of 8. Rebounding the basketball, 13 rebounds for the Trojans. Again, Rouge didn't miss many shots, so it wasn't much of a chance for them, so they end up with 13. Rouge with 22 rebounds. 9 of them were offensive. They were able to capitalize on some of those. Turnovers, 18 for the Botkins Trojans, 13 for the Raiders. And pretty good shooting really helped the Raiders propel tonight just by hitting the shots, made more points. And their defense was pretty aggressive too and forced, I think, Botkins just to rush things a little bit and really force them into some contested shots. You mentioned Kate Sherman, 3 or 4 block shots. Pulling was in there as well. Just a lot of bigger bodies, athletic bodies that seemed like always in the face of a Botkins player when they wanted to go to the basket or try to get a shot off. So good team defense by Coach Bremagen's Raiders defense.
Good year for the Botkins Trojans. They finish at 14-11 overall. Rouge advances with a 47-27 win over Botkins. They will play on Thursday night. One more order of business. Our player of the game, sponsored by NKTelco. It's going to go to Kate Sherman for Rouge.
Kate Sherman finished with 8 points. Very good shooting, 4 of 7 from the field. Thought her defense was really critical in the middle there. I just talked about her block shots. She had 3 or 4 of them. Numerous rebounds, probably at least, I'm guessing 10. But fine game and utilized her size. She stayed out of foul trouble, played under control, did all the things Coach asked her to do, and that was score it when you touch it and block it when you see it. And she did all that very nicely. Congratulations to Kate Sherman, our NKTelco player of the game.
And congratulations to the Rouge Raiders. They advance. Our final score, 47-27. For my partner, Jeff Henshin, I'm Dave Kanapke. Thanks for watching on NKTelco Sports.